Hi friends, welcome to today's workout. It's your Monday sweat 1 o'clock lunchtime break. Today we're going to be doing a quick cardio blast. There's lots of alterations you can take to each exercise, so please make sure to enjoy this at your own risk, but make sure you're taking the appropriate modifications for yourself. It should feel challenging but never painful, so we want to make sure that you're comfortable with the level. You might see me modify a couple of things as I do have a baby on board, so there may be some things that I will adjust for my own, but I'll talk you through the exercises as we go. And today's set is going to be a series of 3 different circuits, so 3 different series of exercises. And in between those, we're going to do a blast of cardio exercises. So all you need for today is a mat or a soft space. I have set up behind me. I've grabbed some water. I've grabbed a towel. And from there, we'll just modify and move through the exercises as appropriate. So we're just going to wait a couple minutes for some people to log on. And I just want to point everyone to the chat feature. If you're having any trouble seeing me, hearing me, give me a shout. We'll make sure it's not something streaming on our end, okay? We're going to get started in just a couple of minutes. Alrighty, so I've also grabbed a set of light weights. I just have some dumbbells here behind me, but you can grab anything else that you want, whether it be a textbook, some water bottles, or if you just want to use your own personal body strength, that works well too, okay? All right, so we're going to come over to our mat, and we're just going to start with some stretches. So we're going to start standing tall, breathing deeply, and we're going to twist to the right side, just doing some pencil stretches, really reaching out there. And we're going to twist back to the left. And right center. And we're going to reach down and we're going to pick one of our feet up, doing a nice quad stretch here. I've included a chair here for anyone who might modify with a chair. So you can either grab onto that chair for balance, pulling that quad back, or if you feel confident, you can just extend your opposite arm straight up for a nice stretch here. And then we're going to switch, taking it to that other quad. Okay, and we're just going to do some squats and reaches. So we're just going to squat down and reach to the opposite side. And like I said, today will be a series of 3 different circuits. And in between each of those circuits, we're going to do a quick cardio blast. If the cardio is too much for you, feel free to skip that part, or there's some alterations that we can take. But make sure to also use that time to grab some water. Great. We're just going to put a little twist here. Just alternating back and forth. And I'm seeing a little bit of a glitchiness on the screen. So I wanted to take this time to ask, is anybody else seeing glitchiness in the footage? So I can know if I should start it over again, or if it's just something I'm seeing on my end. Taking it to those squats one last time. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through the cardio. These are going to be the breaks that are going to come between each one of our circuits. So we're going to do 10 jumping jacks. And if jumping jacks are too much for you, you could just do some football arms and some alternating side crunches here. The next set of that cardio is going to be high knees. You're just trying to lift those knees as high towards your hands as possible. We're there for 10. And then the last part is going to be some ice skaters. So you're just going to be alternating your jumps, bringing that opposite leg behind for a nice reach. Okay, so that's going to be the cardio we're going to repeat throughout. Let me check the stream real quick here. Okay, seems like all is good, so it might just be some jumpiness on my end, which is fine. All right, so we're going to come to our mat and we're going to start our first circuit. And in this circuit, we're going to be working our upper body as well as our core. And there are 3 exercises in this circuit. So first, we're going to come to the top of our mat and we're going to do some plank walkouts. So you're going to start by extending your hands high in the air, and then you're going to bend down forward. Option to stay here in the forward fold if this is enough for you, bending deeper into that. If not, you're going to walk your hands out into a strong plank position. You have the option here to also add a quick little leg crunch on the other side, and then we're going to push back up, coming all the way up to the top, rising to those tippy toes. And we're here for 2 more. Out to plank. And walking ourselves back up. Rising up and reaching to the sky. Out to plank, either holding here or adding that alternate leg crunch and walking ourselves back up, coming up 1 vertebrae at a time, back to standing. All right, I'm already going to grab some water. Feel free to grab some anytime you need it. Okay, our next exercise in this circuit is going to be bear crawls. So we're coming down. I'm going to face this way. I feel like it might be a little easier for you to see me. We're coming down to our knees here. We're in all 4 position, and what we're going to do is we're going to push up onto our feet, and we're going to do crawls forward like a bear and backward like a bear. So what you want to keep in mind when you're doing this is that your right arm, right leg move at the same time. So it looks like this. So each limb is moving in conjunction with its same side limb. So we're just stepping forward and stepping back. Doing some little bear crawls here. Last time. Great, coming back to center there. The 3rd exercise in this series is going to be some leg step outs. We're going to come down to our elbows, push back into that plank, and we're going to step our feet out wide and then back in. So out wide and back in. We're stepping out and in 4 times. Last one. Great, come back down to those knees. Rock it back to a little child's pose here. Legs can come wide if you'd like to get a little deeper in that pose. And then we're going to repeat those 3 exercises 2 more times. So we're coming up to our mat. Catch your breath, grab water if you need to between these sets. Get a little stretch out. And we're taking it right into those plank walkouts. Walking out to plank. And walking back up. Coming up slowly. Reaching high, standing on those tippy toes. Coming back down for 2 more. Walking out. Walking back up, rising up 1 vertebrae at a time, reaching high to those tippy toes. Last one, hands meet to mat. Again, you can be doing forward folds here if you don't want to walk all the way out into the plank. Reaching high. Excellent job. Coming down for those bear crawls. So we're coming down to all 4s. A nice alteration here, if you don't want to do the crawl, is to just take some bird dogs, just reaching opposite arm, opposite leg. You're welcome to interject that in. Otherwise, we're popping up onto those toes, and we're crawling forward and backward, like a little bear cub. Last one. Excellent. Okay, rock back. Give it a little shake, shake out those arms. All right. And we're coming to those plank step outs. So you're gonna come into low plank here, and if the step outs are too much for you, you could take some smaller tricep push-ups here like this. Okay, just in those all fours. Otherwise, we're gonna come down to those elbows. Hands are parallel, coming into that strong plank, and we're stepping out and back in. Out, back in. Out, back in, out, out, in. Come down to those knees. Rock back to child's pose. Good job, you're almost there. One more in this series. This is the hardest one first. I always like to get the stressors right out in the beginning. Great. And we're coming up. Grab some water if needed. Coming up to our standing position. And then when you're ready, we're going to take those plank walkouts again. So we're coming down, we're walking out, either holding here, we're doing a quick alternating leg crunch, and walking back up. Reaching high on those tippy toes, back down, hands come to mat, and we're walking back out. And rising back up. Putting a little march in there for myself. Coming back down. Walking back out. And last one. Rolling yourself back up. Coming high on those tippy toes. Great work. We're now coming down. All fours here. Again, your options are some tricep push-ups from all fours, waking up those muscles, or we're gonna pop up and take those bear crawls. So I'm up on my toes, my right and left leg move parallel with the same hand, so right side's moving, left side's moving. Same time. Once more, forward and back. Great. Legs come wide, rocking back into those child pose. Bending down, really getting a nice stretch. Head forward and come to the mat. All right. And now we're going to interject that first set of cardio right in here. And then we get a break, I promise. So we're doing our 20 jumping jacks. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right into high knees. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right into those ice skaters. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. That was the first circuit. We've got 2 more to go with 2 more interjections of cardio. Grab some water, take a little break, okay? All right. So for this next circuit, you have the option to use a light weight in between each exercise. So I'm going to give you the options to add those in. And it will look just like this. So again, there's 3 exercises that we'll be doing 3 times, and then we'll add our cardio back in. So I have some light weights here. You can use water bottles, you can use a book, you can use whatever works for you, or you can just move through the motions with your body weight because it'll still give you a great workout. All right, so we're going to start by rolling our shoulders back, just kind of setting ourselves up mentally for the next series. And whether you have weights or not, it doesn't matter. But if you do have weights, we're coming in to a nice squat here, and we're doing some side steps. So you step and your foot comes to meet it. Step, foot comes to meet it. You can either have these weights with you or the squat position is challenging enough. So depending on how much space you have, you can either go back and forth once, or maybe you could do 2 or 3 steps in one direction and then head back the other way. You have the option here also, if you do have the weights and you want more of a challenge, to push them out with each step as well. Completely up to you. But as you can see, I'm nice and low. And I'm doing a nice little side step. Okay, so that's our first exercise. The second exercise is going to be a step back with the weights or without. You're going to do a nice little step back lunge, alternating that leg that steps back. Okay, so we're here for 10, whether you're using weights or not. 3, 2, 1. And then the third exercise is going to be in sumo squat position, so our legs are nice and far apart. If you have your weights, they'll come right under your chin, and we're just going to sink down into that sumo squat position and pulse for 5. And rise, sink and pulse for 5. Rise, and sink and pulse for 5. Okay? So we're going to run through that circuit 2 more times. All right, so we've got our low squat with weight or without weight, plank steps to the side. Alternating side to side, keeping that weight in your heels, keeping a nice bend, sinking as low as you can. Great. 2 more each side here. All right, awesome. Now we're coming into those alternating step backs. And if your mat's in your way, go ahead and just curl it up out of your way if you want this space more. We'll get it later. So we're just alternating those step backs for the lunge. Taking 5 on each leg here. If you want to drop your weights halfway through, go for it. You can also use a chair for stability if you wanted to take these just into straight back lunges. Whatever works for you, okay? 2 more here. Great. Bringing our weights under our chin. Stance come wide. Sumo squat with pulses. And rise. And squat. And these pulses are just tiny movements at the bottom of that squat. They're only rising about an inch each time. Last one here. And rise. Awesome. Shake it out. Grab some quick water, or if you can make it till the end, we got 1 more series there. Okay? So we're starting in our side step squats. So we come to squat, and we're just stepping. Like I said, you can add arm motions in here if you'd like. Maybe you want to add them in there every few, or maybe not. Maybe you don't have weights and you just want to extend your arms. All of it is great movement. Whew. Make sure you're breathing. Don't hold your breath. Great. Last one. Awesome. Now we're moving into those step back lunges, alternating our side. Doing great. We're almost there. One more each side. Awesome. And we're going right into those last sumo squats, okay? Stance comes wide. See if you can sink lower than you have before here. And pulse for 5. And rise. And sink and pulse. And rise. And last one, sink, pulse. And rise. Put those weights down. Our quick cardio interjection here, right into it. 10 jumping jacks. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. High knees. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ice skaters. Making sure you're not going to step on anything. These are nice soft landings here, so that you're not shaking the wall and disrupting the neighbors. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Grab some water, towel off if needed. We've got one more circuit. You're doing awesome, okay? For this last circuit, you are going to need your mat. So go ahead and grab that while you're catching your breath. Keep some movement in you while you're grabbing water. Keep that heart rate up. All right. And so for this one, you can keep your weight handy because there's some times where you might want to incorporate it, and then there's other times where you might decide that you have enough going on without it. So I just have my weight near my mat. We're going to come down to our mat here. And we're going to start with some bicycles or leg lowers. So you have the option of either wherever you are in your fitness. So I'm going to come down to lying. And if you're taking the alternating leg lowers, you're going to start with your feet high in the air. And we're going to just take turns lowering one side and then the other. If this is too much of a challenge, you could also bring this to tap downs. So you're just tapping down alternating sides. Or if you'd like more of a challenge, you could use your weight and add that in above your head with your leg ladders. So you're lowering, just adding that additional challenge in the top portion. Okay, so we're here for 10. No matter what you've decided works for you. You could also make these bicycles if you're more comfortable with that movement. Okay, when we reach 10, we're going to move this weight either to the side or you can incorporate it. Where we're going to come down to our back, lying flat. And from here, we're going to go on our heels. So our heels are contacting the mat. Our toes are in the air. Hands are either extended out, or if you're using the weight and you want to hold that right on the top of your hip bone muscles, we're going to push up into a plank. To a bridge. Really squeezing the glutes here. And we're going to hold this position. Now, if this is enough for you, that's great. The added challenge is going to be 5 leg spreaders here while holding in the plank. And then we lower, and we have 5 of those. Back up, open, 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 and then lower. And then up into bridge, squeezing those glutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and lower. Last set, raising the bridge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and lower. Awesome. Now the third exercise in this series, or this circuit, it's going to be pendulum legs. And I'm going to face you so that you can see the movement of my legs. But how they look is you can imagine just like a pendulum. Going back and forth, your legs are going to become the pendulum. So you're going to lie down flat on your back, arms out to your sides for stability, trying to keep that core tight. And you have the option to either take this into a straight leg pendulum, where you're just allowing those legs glued to one another to rock back and forth, or this could be bent leg, where you're taking a little bit smaller of a rotation and allowing those toes to tap down. Whichever one works for you, or if you want to alternate between the two, we're here for 10. Good. And now we've got 2 more rounds of those 3 exercises. So catch your breath, grab some water if needed. And we're coming right back to those lowering legs. Coming down to your back, option for a weight. Legs come up, and we're just alternating those leg lowers. Or you have the option of the tap down. Also could include the weight. Whatever works for you. Once you hit 10, 5 on each side, we're ready to switch to our next exercise. So our feet come down to the mat. Your toes come to the sky, you're on your heels, and we're going to rise up into that bridge, either holding here or opening and closing 5 times. And then lower. And then rise. You should look down and be able to see your hips are in line with your knees, and you're feeling a nice squeeze in those glutes. And after 5 opens, close down, lower to the mat, and then rise, squeezing those glutes harder this time than before, and 5 leg opens. And lower. And then last time, push up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, lower. Excellent. Good work, almost there. Come up, grab some water if needed, otherwise we're going right into that last rep of that circuit. So we're coming down onto our backs for those leg lowers or those leg tap downs or those bicycles. All of it is wonderful exercise for your core, whatever you prefer here. Here for 10. Excellent. Coming down. You can either have the weight or lose it, but it will either come right out of your hips there and push up into that bridge, holding, or doing your 5 leg opens. And lower. And push up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and lower. And push up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and lower. Last one. Push up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and lower. Awesome. Right into those final leg pushes, whether you want them to be the pendulum legs. We're going to take our legs are going to come high, and you're going to rock them side to side, arms are wide, like a pendulum. Whether they're bent, like my legs are now, or if you want to extend that challenge and have them be straight leg. If you're feeling too much strain, you can reduce the motion, have it be a smaller arc you're making with those toes. Here for 10. Awesome. We're going to rock forward, coming right into that cardio. Come to rising for those 10 jumping jacks. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. High knees. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ice skaters. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome work. You did great. That has had your heart rate leveled for 30 solid minutes. This is so great for your metabolism. Keep your metabolism working extra hard all day. It's an awesome way to start your day or the middle of your day, depending on what your schedule is. I know we're all feeling a little crazy right now. But we're going to come over to our mat and we're going to start to cool it down. So from here, we're going to bring in some squats while we're windmilling our arms. Moving that energy all around you, slowly bringing that heart rate down. Make sure you're breathing. And from here, we're just going to take it to our squat and reach. Nice and slow, bringing that heart rate down, reaching far. Great. And from here, we're going to bend straight down, maybe walking our toes and feet out a little further for a nice triangle stretch here. Letting the head come down. Hold here. And we're going to walk those hands over to the right. And we're going to walk them back to center and over to the left. Back to center. From here, we're just going to sink into a nice low prayer squat here. Option to have your hands down too, that's fine. And then I'm going to slowly walk myself down into a seated position. And I'm going to allow my feet to come out straight in front of me here. Flat on the mat, sitting up straight. And we're just going to point and flex our toes. And point and flex. And we're going to bring our hands high and continue to point and flex these toes. And then we're going to reach forward as far as you can go. I have a little bump here keeping me from being able to go very far. So whatever works for you, you'll feel this nice stretch in the back of your legs. Reaching as far as you can. And then sitting straight back up. Point and flex and point and flex. And let's reach down again for those toes. Excellent. Then we're going to grab our right leg and we're going to cross it over our left leg. That's still straight there. And we're going to allow our right arm to come up and put our elbow to that knee for a nice back stretch. So using that left elbow, pushing on that bent right knee, just pushing into a twist here, looking over our right shoulder. And let's point that left leg that's extended and flex and point and flex and undo that twist. And we'll switch legs here. So we're going to bend that left leg, bring it up over our right leg that's extended, taking our right hand, bringing that right elbow to knee and pushing into that twist, looking over our left shoulder. And then we're going to point and flex that right extended foot. Okay, and undo that. Let's squinch down a little bit, coming flat to our mat. We're just going to allow our legs to windshield wipe back and forth. So we're just letting them rock right to left. Just massaging those little back lower muscles, top of your glutes, opening up those hip flexors. Just rocking back and forth. Arms are wide for a nice stretch, stabilizing the rest of that core. Just like windshield wipers on a car. And then we're going to extend our legs straight out, hands straight above head, making a nice pencil point, stretching and reaching, pointing those fingers, pointing those toes, lengthening your entire body. And we're just going to dead bug our left leg, right hand up, and back out. And then opposite side. We're just moving these limbs, slowing them down. Just like you would imagine a little bug on its back trying to wiggle its way free. Just some small motions here. And extend, reaching, 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 pointing those fingertips, pointing those toes. And then we'll rise up. We're going to come to our last position here on all fours. And we're just going to take some cat-cows here. So we're going to roll, arch our backs, breathing in deeply. And then we're going to tilt that pelvis forward, looking up, letting our back roll, letting it sink. And we're just going to move through this 3 times. And in that last one, come back to tabletop. And we're just going to take some small tabletop tricep crunches here, little tricep pushes. Still keeping our muscles active, but really letting them come down. So just some little movements here. And on your 10th one, allow your knees to come wide and just push that back into child's pose. Let your forehead come to the mat and reach those fingertips as far out in front of you as you can get them. And then we're going to slowly bring our feet in, rising up one last vertebra at a time, nice and slow. When our standing position, we're just going to roll those shoulder blades back, pushing that energy forward. And we're going to take it for just our final squat and windmill those arms. And one more time. Whew, good work. That was not easy today. It was really high energy. And I just know that you all did awesome. Make sure to drink lots of water. 8 cups a day is a great goal to set for yourself. Try to put some healthy food in your body. But if you can get 30 minutes of exercise, no matter what it is a day, that's always great. It keeps the cabin fever away. You can also find us here every Monday at 1 o'clock and also on Fridays at 1 o'clock for Zumba with Iris. Thanks so much for joining. Have a great week.